you said last week that you guys were going to reevaluate with Jewel after the break. Just what update are you able to give us on her status, and do you expect to have her tomorrow to play?
Yeah, she practiced yesterday, limited, so we're going to see how it looks today, and then hopefully she'll be good to go.
Before the season, you talked about kind of the expectation of growth and how it might be ugly at first but get better. Are they kind of on track with where you thought they'd be heading into December?
We need to make some strides in our shooting percentage and still in our half-court defense.
Florida State's a team that also loves to push the pace. They love to get up and down. Like, what's the challenge of facing a team who does also love to push the pace? Like, just, I guess, does the press become more important to getting those turnovers to win the possession battle? Or, like, what's kind of your approach going into this game?
The possessions will be important. They're phenomenal offensively, so our defense is really going to have to come into play. We're going to have to sit down and guard in the half court. I don't really think it's going to be a half court game. I do think it'll be more of a track meet, but just making sure that we are hitting shots and guarding.
Before this season, you kind of talked about how you don't really call that many timeouts, and I know you really haven't so far this year, but do you feel like that approach has shifted at all being at this level?
No.
Speaking of these matchups, Coach, do you like this type of an event, ACC versus SEC type of thing?
Yeah, it's always good to get tested early. It's a big week for us, and I think that it'll be a really good measuring stick for our girls to see where we're at.
What are you doing to maybe slow down this track meet that it could turn into?
The faster it is, the better for us, to be honest. So we're going to like the pace. I think we are going to go deep, and so I think that'll be good for us. I just think it needs to be a track meet where we're going up and down, but we're getting stops.
With not taking those timeouts, what do you like the most about being able to correct a player right on the bench or right after they come off the court?
And that's huge, and that's the one reason why we don't really need to do it is we get them every 2 minutes and we can talk to them, and they're supposed to be watching and paying attention, and so they're hopefully watching, learning, and then just going right back in. So I get a lot of time to talk and coach as they kind of come on and off.
You mentioned improving your field goal percentage of three-point shooting. Is that just more shots in the gym and players just making shots, or are you looking for better shot selection, more inside out to get you better looks? What do you think will contribute and help in that regard?
I think early on, our first three games, our shot selection was bad, and so that's why our shooting percentage was bad. I did like our shot selection better our last game, but our shooting percentage was still bad. So just making sure they're in the gym, they have confidence. I think, again, it comes with pace, it comes with time. A lot of them have maybe shot 2 threes their whole career, and now they're allowed to shoot 2 or 3 a game. And so it just comes with time of getting comfortable knocking them down. But you got to put the work in.
Tanaya Latson has been an incredible scorer her whole career, but this year especially has kind of taken up another notch. What's the challenge of game planning for a player like her where she doesn't take a lot of threes, but she can hit them, and she's really dangerous inside?
Yeah, she's dangerous everywhere, and so we're just going to have to put our best defender on her, try to be in the gaps. She's hard to slow down.
Is this a game that feels like almost tailor-made for Talaysia Cooper and the way that she's able to create offense from her defense?
I hope so. I really hope so. I hope that they're hard to stay in front of. They're one of the fastest, if not the fastest team in the country. So it's going to be a really good test for us.
You play a lot of different combinations of people out on the court. Is there a duo or a combo that you really do see yourself liking for what they can do together on the court?
Not yet. I think we still need to fine-tune that a little bit and find who our top 5 are, who our best defenders are, who plays better in special situations. And we've had some foul trouble early on where we haven't really got to play with that in these early games, and then we've had some injuries.
Having a player like Talaysia, I know you have a lot of talent across the board, but she's kind of one of those players where she has that it factor where she's going to draw that extra attention from other teams. How does that change your offense in a good way, or maybe open things up in a way maybe you haven't seen before with your offense?
It should hopefully open things up for our shooters, and if it doesn't, then she's going to be able to do what she wants at the rim.
What are you this is a marathon, not a sprint. What are you most interested in seeing and learning about your team tomorrow night in this setting?
I think it's definitely going to be a game of runs, and to see how resilient we are. I mean, we're a streaky team, they're a streaky team, and see what happens when things aren't going our way, or when things are going our way, how we respond, if we keep our foot on the gas or if we panic when we're down.
Do you feel like you've dealt with much adversity at this point?
We deal with it in practice, but it's always different when you can smell the popcorn and there's 8,000 people standing there watching you.
MTSU.
Go ahead.
Okay, MTSU was kind of like that get-back game because of what happened last year. Does this FSU game kind of feel that same way with the team, especially the players who were here last year?
It does, and then we have a lot of players that are from different leagues that also lost to them. So I think everyone's a little bit hungry for this one.
With leading the country in points, offensive rebounds, and steals, which one does the team take the most pride in, and why?
That's a good question. We're going to get ready to go over stats here soon and look at all of our stats and where we go. For me, I really like our offensive rebounds. I think that's important, and I think we could get a little bit better at that, especially as we're not shooting as well. So that's something we're about to go harp on right in the film room.
For you, why are those offensive rebounds the most important?
Because it's effort. You literally just have to want to go get the ball, and you can control that.
How often do you take a look at stats like that with the team?
No, we look at stats a lot. So we probably haven't looked at them, and we've had kind of a downtime, but we're going to look at everything we have compared to the SEC today and kind of see where we stand. And some things are really eye-opening, like our half-court defense.
You mentioned the other night on Ball Calls with Brent about the 29-ish% clip from the three-point line isn't going to be something that we'll see a lot of wins if you continue that way. So what does it require from you when it is about the efficiency behind the three-point line?
Yeah, I think that offensive rebounds are going to be huge. We got to go get second chances. We got to sit down and guard. We have to find ways to help ourselves because you're not always going to shoot well. Hopefully, you don't shoot 29% every single game. You are going to have games where you shoot 35. You are going to have games where you shoot low 20s. So that's where the possessions come into play: offensive rebound effort and getting stops in the half court.
You
Coach, how was
mentioned
the
the
holiday for you and the team? I'd venture to say the ladies have had time to run off all that turkey.
We ran it off. They'll tell you that. It was quick, but it was good.
You mentioned before how November was all about you guys. Does that shift at all now going into December and January?
Yeah, I think we spend a little more time prep on who our opponent is, what we're going to do, change some things a little bit scout specific, and making sure that we are still treating every practice with a sense of urgency and making sure that we're ready.
Florida State's your guys' first power conference opponent. Is there kind of a excitement in the team of proving what they can do within the system and new look? And is it how good of a measuring stick is this for you?
Yeah, it's a very big measuring stick for us. It's definitely something we need right about now to see where we stand and so we can get back to work.
Do you feel like you learn more in games that are supposed to be closer than
Yeah.
games that aren't?
I do.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.